Welcome to today's custom-tailored deep dive. We are looking at a sociological report you sent us.
Yeah, on a virtual world called Highrise.
Right, specifically tracking a subcommunity named Clubrise between 2022 and 2026. Okay, let's unpack this, because reading through the source material, it's wild how it uses just one user's experience to map out the death of an entire digital city.
Well, what's fascinating here is that Highrise acts as a microcosm for the internet at large.
Oh.
I mean, it's not just a game losing its player base.
No, definitely not.
It's a real-time study on what happens to people psychologically when an app's algorithm shifts and just kind of leaves them behind.
And the data paints a pretty bleak picture, right? Back in 2022, high-rise event rooms were, thriving. They were hitting 37,000 concurrent users.
With a fully liquid digital economy, too, where items were freely traded.
Exactly. But fast forward to 2026, and it's practically a ghost town. Rooms struggle to hit even 1,000 users. Plus, the items players bought are now a countdown, meaning you can't trade or sell them anymore. Your digital money is just locked up.
Which brings us to Ulysses Abdullah, the main case study in your sources. Ulysses is a legacy user, and he's nonverbal in the game.
Right, he doesn't type in the chats.
He just observes. He thinks. In 2022, he loved that high-density social noise and had a massive network of virtual friends. But log in today, and he's sitting in an empty, super dead room dealing with genuine grief over a vanished community.
It sounds so much like physical gentrification. An area gets popular, developers move in, change the rules, and the locals get pushed out. Here's where it gets really interesting. In Highrise's case, the catalyst was this live V1 update.
Oh yeah, the pay-to-play boost economy.
Right. They took the old tokens players had earned and converted them at a 1-to-5 ratio to buy these new boost tokens. Basically, your digital wallet lost massive value overnight, making everything way more expensive.
And it completely changed how rooms were discovered. Before the update, a room was visible simply because it was popular. People liked it, so it showed up on the main feed.
But after the update, visibility was entirely based on who was paying the most real-world money.
Exactly. It created a system where wealthy, ego-driven users, the report calls them big bosses, could just buy up the digital real estate. They used voice chats and intimidation to push quiet legacy users like Ulysses right out of the popular spaces.
Into the invisible periphery. So what does this all mean for someone like Ulysses? How do you even survive in that space?
Well, most people just left. But Ulysses held on because of a single remaining connection, which was a virtual figure he just calls Mama.
Wow, a literal virtual mother figure.
Yeah, with the platform devolving into this aggressive, patriarchal, big boss culture, Mama became his only safe space. She hosted a quiet, low-traffic room where he didn't have to compete financially to exist. It was an emotional anchor, and without her, he'd have no reason to ever log back in.
That really highlights a larger problem with how apps are designed today. It makes you look at the apps on your own phone a bit differently. These tech companies are obsessed with stickiness ratios.
Which is basically how addicted you are.
Right, how long you stay glued to the screen. To boost those numbers, they cater to high-spending whales with flashy UI and UX updates. But in chasing profits, they dismantle the organic digital third places you might frequent, turning them into a digital dustbin.
It creates a totally hollow experience. Looking through the sources, I actually found an old 1994 GamePro magazine review that captures this perfectly.
Oh, the fighting game one?
Yeah, for Clubrise the Robots. The reviewer complained that the digital sprites moved stiffly and didn't feel like they were actually inside the ring.
And decades later, Highrise has these beautifully rendered, modern avatars, but they feel just as disconnected.
The graphics improved, but the sense of community is totally hollow.
It's amazing how history repeats itself even in digital spaces. Thank you for joining us for today's deep dive. We hope it gave you some new perspective on the invisible architecture of your favorite apps.
Absolutely.
But before you go, we want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. Is virtual worlds inevitably replicate the exact same economic stratification, exclusionary politics, and urban decay found in our physical cities? Is it actually possible to code a purely egalitarian digital space? Or are our offline flaws permanently hardwired into our online escapes?